Good morning, students. First of all, I am introducing myself. Myself is Akash Kumar Singh, and I will teach you biology during the session of 21 to 22. First of all, the syllabus of the 9th biology written on the board. As you see, first chapter is the fundamental unit of life, that is the cell, and second chapter is tissue. Third chapter is diversity in the living organism, which was omitted during the session of 2020 to 2021. But this year, what happens I will know. And fourth chapter is why do we fall ill. Fifth chapter is natural resources, and sixth chapter is improvement in food resources. Fundamental unit of life, generally called cell. You are very familiar to this word cell. As you study in the previous classes, cell is the functional and structural unit of life. All of you know very well. Robert Hooke first time discovered the cell. Robert Hooke in the year of 1665 first time discovered the cell, and we know about it. Now my first question is that why cell is considered as a structural and functional unit of life? Now answer is that cell is considered as a structural unit of life. All the living organisms around us which are present on the biosphere totally made up of cells and combination of different type of cells. So if we see, basically a living organism is made up of what? On the ground level, we see that all the living organisms, either bacteria or the elephant or the so many large or small animals around us, are basically made up of cells and combination of cells. बच्चों, सबसे पहले मैं तुम्हें ये बता दूं कि ये जो चैप्टर हम लोग पढ़ते हैं सेल, इसकी स्टडी को हम लोग साइटोलॉजी कहते हैं. दैट मीन्स साइटोलॉजी is the branch of science in which we study about the cell. Like the cytology, so many different type of branches in the biology. Just come and see some special and important branches of the biology. Now let us discuss the important branches of biology. As you know, biology is what? Biology is the study of living organisms, because biology is made up of two basic words. Bio, that means living organism, and logos, that means we can say that biology is the science in which we study about the living organism. But in biology, so many different branches exist. Like some important branches are: morphology is the branch of biology in which we study about the external form and feature of different living organisms. That means we say study of different form and features externally. That is, in another words, we can say that study of external features. आप कह सकते हो कि किसी भी लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म के बाहरी शेप, साइज और बनावट की स्टडी को हम लोग मोर्फोलॉजी कहते हैं. फिजियोलॉजी. Physiology is the branch of biology in which we study about the functions of the different organ inside the body. That means, in brief, we can say that study of functions of different organs inside the body. Third important branch is anatomy. Anatomy is the branch of biology in which we study about the internal structure, internal organs. That means यदि हम किसी organs की study कर रहे हैं सेल और टिश्यू लेवल पर, तो ये एनाटॉमी कहलाता है. Now the next branches of important branches of biology is, these are the two common words of the genetics: study of heredity and variation. Heredity, this is the process through which the characters from the parents are transmitted to their offsprings through the reproduction. That is, heredity is the inheritance of character from one generation to another generation, and variation is defined as presence of different characteristic feature in the living organism. Now the next important branch is embryology. Embryology, that is study of embryos. You know very well what are embryo. Now next important branch is ecology. Ecology is the branch of biology in which we study about the environment. Study of environment. Now one more branch is important branch is cell biology. Cell biology and cytology, these are the two different branches, quietly different, because some basic difference present in between cell biology and cytology. In cytology, we study about the structures of different cells, but in cell biology, we study about the structure as well as function of that organ in this branch. So, study of structure as well as function together. These are the some common branches of the biology, students, which will you study in the classes during the period. Now let us come about the cell. So first of all, cell is defined as, it is the structural and functional unit of life or an organism. Now, my question is that why cell is considered as a structural unit of life and functional unit of life? As you study in the earlier classes, like in class 8th and the previous classes, cell is considered as a structural unit of life. Why? Cell is considered as a structural unit of life. Why? Answer is very simple, students. You know from the earlier study very well, all the living organisms are made up of cell or group of cells. That's why cell is considered as just like the building blocks, that is the bricks of a building. As we know that a building is made up of many walls and many rooms. A room is made up of many walls. A wall is made up of many bricks and combination of bricks or cementing material. So, if we see basically a building is made up of what type of materials, then we consider basically either building is tall or small, basically made up of thousand and thousand of bricks and the cementing material. Just like bricks, a living organism, a multicellular living organism is made up of thousand and thousand, millions of millions cells and combination of cells. Beside this, in the biosphere, so many organisms are present which body is made up of single cell, not only the combination of different cells. Their body is made up of only one cell. That type of organism are called unicellular organism. And another type of organism which body are made up of million or million cells, that are called multicellular organism. So, if we see, then we can say that all the living organisms are basically made up of cell or combination of cells. Combination of cells. So, cell is just equivalent to brick of a building. Brick of a building. That's why cell is considered as a structural unit of life. Now, the second term is functional unit of life. Why cell is considered as functional unit of life? Why cell is considered as functional unit of life? Answer is very simple, dear students. As you know from the earlier classes or study, living organism performs many physiological works or functions like the nutrition, respiration, transportation, circulation, excretion, reproduction, etc. etc. But if we see where these life process taken place, then I will get the answer. Cell is the basic place or site where all the life process taken place. That is, inside a cell, all the life process taken place, all the physiological works taken place. So, cell is also called as functional unit of life. All the physiological works take place inside a cell. That is why cell is considered as functional unit of life. Answer is completed of the question which was asked by me in the earlier time. Why cell is considered as functional unit of life? Cell is also considered as basic unit of life, fundamental unit of life. Why cell is considered as basic unit of life and fundamental unit of life? You know very well, because all the living organisms are made up of finally cell or group of cells. Structurally it is known as basic unit of life, and all the living organisms are made up of cell and combination of cell. That is, it is also known as fundamental unit of life. Just like the electron, proton, neutrons are the fundamental particles of the element. My question is that what are the living organisms made up of? लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म जो हैं वो किससे मिलकर बने हुए हैं? तो इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर बहुत ही सिंपल है स्टूडेंट्स, कि लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म जो है वो बने हुए हैं सेल से और सेल के कॉम्बिनेशन से. सो योर आंसर विल बी all the living organisms are made up of cell, either cell or combination of cell or cell. Like all the plants and animals, basically made up of cells or combination of cells. Now, on the basis of number of cells, there are two types of living organisms. On the basis of number of cells, there are two types of living organisms. One category is considered as unicellular organism, another category is considered as multicellular organism. So, living organisms are divided into two categories. One is called unicellular and another one is called multicellular. Multicellular organisms. As you know very well, unicellular organisms are made up of only one cell. Their body is made up of only one cell. As for example, bacteria, amoeba, etc. So many organisms are made up of one cell, but in multicellular organism, body is made up of many cells, thousand and thousand cells, combination of million cells. Around us, many multicellular organisms are found, like birds, animals like dog, cat, human beings also. So around us, many multicellular organisms are found. Now let us discuss about the division of labor. That is, division of labor means काम का बंटवारा, यानी कि हमारा बॉडी जो सेल और कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ सेल से मिलके बना हुआ है, तो इसमें कौन कौन से लेवल हैं जिस पर हमारा बॉडी बेस्ड है। हमारे बॉडी में बहुत सारे ऑर्गन सिस्टम पाए जाते हैं, बहुत सारे ऑर्गन्स पाए जाते हैं, बहुत सारे टिश्यू पाए जाते हैं और बहुत सारे सेल्स पाए जाते हैं। सो द सेल्स आर ग्रुप टुगेदर टू मेक द टिश्यूज, मेनी टिश्यूज group together to make an organ, many organs make together an organ system, and many organ system make together an organism. In this way, we can see that cells or group of cells combine together a pillar of stepping system. That means organ system, organs, tissues, cells. So, division of labors, that means of cells make together tissue. Group of tissues make together organs. Group of organs make together organ system. And finally, group of organ system forms an organism. And body of an organism. So, if we see seriously, then we can say that group of cells make together tissue, group of tissue make together organ, group of organs make together organ system, group of organ system make together an organism. So, we can say that inside our body so many levels are present. That means at the tissue level, at the organ level, at the organ system level, the functions performed by the body. Now, the number of cells related to the size of an organ or the body. Let us discuss about this. Number of cells is related to size of an organ or tissue or size of an organism. What does it mean? इसका क्या मतलब हुआ कि सेल्स का जो नंबर है वो बॉडी के शेप साइज से रिलेटेड है, बट रियल सेंस में ये बात सही है या गलत है? हम लोग कॉमन लाइफ में ये सोचते हैं कि छोटा ऑर्गेनिज्म है तो उसमें नंबर ऑफ सेल्स कम होगा, बड़ा ऑर्गेनिज्म है उसमें नंबर ऑफ सेल्स ज़्यादा होगा। ऐसी बात नहीं है। This is not true. In the large size of body, number of cells may be large or huge. If number of cells between the two living organisms are same, then it may be possible कि in large size of body their size or shape of the body is large, and in is a smaller size of living organism, the size of the cell may be small. Okay? So, the number of cells is related to the size of the organ or body. That means, in other words, we can say that the small organisms have limited number of cells, whereas the large organisms such as elephant, whale, banyan tree have countless number of cells. Thus, larger an organism, greater the number of cells in the body. It is just common view and common study. So, we can say that larger the body size, like the elephant, whale, banyan tree, larger the body size, number of cells may be large or countless. But one thing is important, dear. Shape of the cells depends on the function of that type of cells inside the body. ये तो हम लोगों ने अच्छी तरह से समझ लिया कि नंबर ऑफ सेल्स जो होते हैं किसी ऑर्गेनिज्म में कितने होंगे या उसकी संख्या किस बात पर निर्भर करती है। हम लोगों ने इस स्टडी से यह पाया कि नंबर ऑफ सेल्स जो है वो साइज ऑफ द बॉडी पर डिपेंड करता है। जनरली बड़े ऑर्गेनिज्म में नंबर ऑफ सेल्स ज़्यादा होना चाहिए और छोटे ऑर्गेनिज्म में नंबर ऑफ सेल्स कम होना चाहिए। लेकिन shape of the cells depend on the functions of that cells inside the body. It means shape of the cells depend on the function that perform inside the body, like the blood cells carry the oxygen molecules inside the blood vessels, so their shapes become round or oval. The nerve cell, which is long, cylindrical and star-shaped, they carry the informations from one part to another part inside the body. That's why they becomes long, cylindrical in shape. The muscle cells, our muscles perform rhythmic contraction and expansion, that is the movement and locomotion, help in the movement and locomotion. That's why their shapes become sickle shaped or cylindrical shaped. So we can say that shape of the cells basically depend on the functions of that cells which perform inside the body. So dear student, first of all, thank to you all of you for listening my video and audio, and for watching my writing materials on the board. Once again, very thanks to all of you.